Recording's on.
Hey guys, it's Ash and P.
Hey.
Sorry. I was not prepared.
Nope.
How's it going?
It's good.
It's good?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Pretty good.
What were you just doing on your phone?
Clearing out red dots.
Oh, good night.
You know how
Okay,
I am about
yeah, I know
this.
you hate the red dots.
Yeah, I
don't care.
I don't do well with that.
I know. I appreciate that though. I feel like, obviously when, say, like, email inbox cleared out, feels so good.
It does.
It does.
It does.
You feel caught up.
Yeah.
There's no issues.
I'm not really caught up in my Gmail, I get all the promotions and deals and the whatever, but I can't do a bunch of red dots.
Yeah. I have unsubscribed from so many things.
The problem is I feel like I need to be subscribed to everything I'm subscribed to, but I don't want to get notifications all the time.
Right. Like I only want notifications for the things that I want. Like Bath and Body Works. Don't message me about lotion. I don't care.
Yeah. Right.
Candles and wallflowers. I'm down.
And hand soaps.
Oh, don't forget the hand soaps.
And hand soaps.
Hand soaps.
Yep.
Other than that, please don't
care.
message me.
No. I don't care about 3 for $20 whatever, or I don't care about that. No.
Victoria's Secrets, I only care about your underwear. Don't message me about anything else.
Which is I really could probably just unsubscribe altogether because I feel like I already know it's June and January. That's it. Right?
I didn't get anything from Victoria's.
I don't think so either.
I don't know.
I know
because I go through and I
just delete, right?
Yeah.
You just sit there and swipe.
Which is why I have unsubscribed from so many things.
Yeah.
Like, not to get personal, but I get a lot of political emails. And so
I
go through and I unsubscribe from so many of those. And then, when you subscribe to something because you want to get, say, like a deal, like you're going to buy from this company and you're going to do
That's what I get a lot of. Okay. So really quick, I know this is going to shock everyone. I have shocking news here. Shocking news.
I can't wait.
When I first turned 18 and I registered as a voter, I registered as
a Democrat.
Don't.
Some people are going to really appreciate that.
Okay. Don't pick it. Don't pick it. Okay. I did. And listen, this is how I feel. I feel when you're young and you're just coming into your own.
And you don't make as much money.
But also, you have to understand something. I grew up with a single mom who was on assisting, yes, for a while, and she didn't stay on it.
Right.
She did
what you're supposed to do.
Yes, absolutely. She did the right thing. She used it when she had to until she got her bearings, and then she was not on it anymore. Right. And she created a career for herself and always a hard worker. And it wasn't like it was ever used for us to just be fucking whatever.
Lazy.
Yeah, no.
Just live off the system.
So in my mind, I was very, I was much more liberal in my younger years. And
it's difficult because you also, as someone who grows up like that, you are told that the Democrats care about the poor.
Absolutely. And so I felt like that's what I would register as. And that's what
I want to help people.
Yes.
People that need help, we need to help them.
And I see this with my child all the time. She says things like, well, if they can't afford it, I want to buy it for them. And if they can't afford it, we should be helping them. Yes. And no. And so obviously, as I've gotten older, I have I have become more
Educated.
yes, and
Aware.
I have realized, I mean, here's what I'll say. I don't care if you consider yourself either, but I honestly think that that's not what it's about. I don't
Right.
think that it's about being a Democrat or a Republican. I think it's about
What you stand for.
and I think it's about values, and I think it's
Mhm.
about morals, and I think it's about corruption
Yep.
on both sides.
Absolutely. I
And
don't know that there's anyone
no.
that's not
And
correct.
yeah. And I think it's about trying to make the best decision on the person that you're voting for, that best that you feel in your heart of hearts is best for your country.
Right.
Not just for you, but
And
for your country.
here's something that I loved. I don't know who said this, but they said, you are not marrying them. You do not have to like them. You do not have to.
No.
And here's the thing, you're never going to agree 100%
No.
with anyone.
No.
Like,
No.
there are things
But who
that
makes the best decisions as a country, as a whole,
Yeah.
that are going to benefit you in your entirety? So your job, your home, your
Yeah.
everything. Where are your home market values? Where are your job placements? Where are
what are your taxes?
taxes?
Are things being
Wars.
increased like that?
There are things,
Wars.
there are things.
Inflation, all of those
Yes.
things come into play.
And unfortunately, I feel like we haven't had great leadership in quite a long time. But I feel like
and there's a lot of division.
So much, which honestly is probably the hardest, because I feel like we've been so divided as a country for so long. We don't even want to talk politics, which is totally fine. I don't want to talk politics really with you either. But at the same time, like, it comes to it in a sense of, we're not talking politics because we're so divided, and we shouldn't be that divided, because we all want the same thing, right?
Right.
We all want freedom. We all want to live in this land and feel like we belong, and feel like we're safe, and feel like we can raise a family, and we can be people, and we can have our jobs and our careers and our homes, and we elect our government. That's what we're supposed to.
Right.
It's supposed to be that we elect our government because we feel that they are the right people to lead us. They are representing all of us, not one group, all of us. And although we may not all vote for that person, they should be a person that can represent all of us.
That has everyone's best interest at heart.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I think, unfortunately, a lot of division comes from politics. We have discussed this before, that hard times create strong men and easy times create weak men. And it's really sad, because obviously our generation, and I think our generation probably was hit the hardest, because it affected a lot of people our age.
Yes.
A lot of our friends, a lot of kids we went to school with went to war, right? 9/11 affected our generation
directly.
Yes.
That was a direct effect.
Yes. There are
our
people
generation
that we know went there and they died.
It's like people say, like, World War II, or they say like Desert Storm, and or the Vietnam War,
right.
It directly affected the generation that they were in. 9/11
was
directly affected our generation.
Yeah. At that point, we were seniors in high school.
Yeah.
I know quite a few men. I had a girlfriend that she joined, but I know quite a few men that I went to school with, some younger, some the same age, and some older, that all died in the war.
Yeah.
And 9/12 was the most unified we had been in I don't know how long.
Right.
It did not matter who you supported politically. It did not matter what color you were. It did not matter what beliefs you held.
Yeah.
We were united, we stand.
Which
that was, how often did you hear united we stand?
Yes. Yes.
And unfortunately, we're not there anymore. And it's sad because we shouldn't have to go through those things. We shouldn't have kids losing their parents. We shouldn't have parents losing their kids because we need something like that to bring us together. You know,
Yeah.
It's really sad. It's awful because.
But I think that when you've gone generation after generation, and now we're coming into generation of people who don't, or who aren't exposed directly,
Right.
to
They hear
that.
stuff, but they didn't experience it.
No, it becomes a distant.
It's like what as an adult now, and knowing like my grandfather was there, my uncles were there, things like that, like the Vietnam War. I understand the severity of it, but
it didn't directly affect you.
No.
I mean, I know that, my grandmother was one of 6. And so she had 5 brothers. She was the only girl. And at one point, they pretty much all went to war.
All of the brothers were gone.
Yes. And then they passed that whole bill where you couldn't have
all of
them.
children. Yes.
You had. So then they sent back like my uncle and stuff, or my great uncle,
the older one, right? Because it was the firstborn.
Yes. And so
Bible times.
right. It's an interesting time to think about and how things were. And now our children, which were blessed and were cursed with it, don't have that same fear. And we don't have to fear our children going off to war, except that they don't also have the fear of what you have here is a gift. It is not just given freely. It is given with sacrifice.
Right.
And that sacrifice came from many, 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 many generations of men before your time. And as an American citizen, you have the obligation to fulfill that same duty.
Right.
And you should and may be called to that.
And I don't know
and
that kids are there.
It's not even, I don't even think in their mindset.
Because they're so, the thing is that they are so removed from that, right? Like their struggles are, and it's really sad. I don't mean to talk down or make it seem like their struggles are not a thing. I understand it. Like we both, here's the thing. We both have kids that have experienced issues, right? With everything that's gone in the past few years.
Yes.
They have struggled. The problem that I have is that in my mind, those are not actual struggles. They suck. Was it good? No. Did you have someone fucking shooting at you? Did you have to bury someone? Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound cold.
But do you understand what your grandfathers did for you?
Right.
For you to be in a normal environment and go to school and think that your biggest struggle of the day is that you
don't know if you're a boy or a girl. Or you know what I mean?
Or that you are, I'm struggling with my feelings and my emotions and whatever. You wouldn't have had the chance to think about your feelings.
Exactly.
Had it not been for the millions of men and women
Yeah.
before you
Yeah.
who laid their life down for you.
Right. So that you could be here
Yes.
crying over these small.
It's a very
insignificant
difficult
things.
situation to be in. As a parent today, it's hard.
It is.
It's very hard. I'm very grateful. So here's where I think this plays into private school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very grateful that it goes back for them. It may not go back into military time, but it goes back to biblical time.
Right. Which is
all the same.
Right.
In a sense.
Yeah.
You're a soldier of God.
Yes.
You're a soldier of this, you are a soldier. You are serving your country, your God. You are laying your life down for those that aren't even fortunate enough to have the opportunity to, you know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
that aren't even maybe worthy of the life that you're giving them.
Right.
But you are laying down your life for them no matter what.
Right.
And so I love that the kids get the opportunity to have that instilled in them because I see it a lot with Georgia so much, more than Danny. But she's retaining it. It's like it's coming to her mind where she gets it and she gets it. And I love that she sees like it's a moral thing. It's a thing where you're listen, not everything is fair. Not everyone is right. But you are to live your life the godly way. You are to live your life in the best life that you can. And you are to serve your community and your people and your God. And that overall is first,
Right.
God first and then, all of the other things.
Yeah.
And so I love seeing it because I feel like it just kind of ties in.
Yeah, because it does. I think it brings that hope that they are willing to sacrifice and they know the importance of giving and putting others first, which is, hello, our, men and women in the military are putting all of us 1st, and we don't deserve it.
No.
No. I would never be brave enough to do something like that.
No.
I don't deserve it. And they're willing to go out there.
I wish I could be that. I wish I could be half that brave.
I know. And you know what? I think I feel so bad because and I know this might sound sexist, but as a mom of boys, I feel I should be encouraging that. They have grandparents and great grandparents on both sides that served in the military. And I feel that I should encourage that kind of thing. I never want to send my kids off. And I feel selfish. I know, but I think back to the guys that I went to school with that, you mentioned your great uncles where all of them went off. There was a family of 3 boys at my school.
I know.
And
I
all
remember.
3 of them went off.
Yeah. I remember.
2 of them passed.
Yeah.
And they made one of them come home.
Yeah.
They had to force him to come home.
Yeah.
Because he was the only living member. And I'm not worthy of that.
Right.
And I just think I feel very selfish that I don't encourage that.
Well, it is selfish, but in a sense, it's human nature, right?
Yeah.
We are selfish people.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
But I will say this, I hate to think, and this is where I think this kind of all comes into play with our kids too. I hate to see, and I feel like I see it declining in the amount of pride.
Yes, and that's the thing
that our men and women have.
Yeah,
and I will always be so grateful to any soldier I see out there.
Yes.
And we actually have a friend that has, she's always bitching about her crazy husband, but, you know, he has served for a long time.
Yeah.
And although he has had his struggles, who wouldn't with as much as
with what he's seen? Yeah.
There's no way he wouldn't.
I can't imagine ever coming back to normal civilization.
But I will always be grateful for him.
Yeah.
And I will always be grateful for her because it's not just the men, it's the women back at home.
Yeah.
You know,
and their kids.
And their
Everyone's
kids.
touched by it. Everyone's
and their kids. And I absolutely love seeing young men and women sign up to join the military.
Yeah.
And I love it because we absolutely need it.
We do.
We absolutely need it.
Without them, we have no one.
No.
I mean, and
our country doesn't exist without our soldiers.
Yeah.
And we have to have them. And as citizens, it is our responsibility. And it is also a thing of pride that we should back them 100%.
Right.
And we should be so proudful of these men and women who are choosing this life. They're not choosing to go and
make a lot of money, have a glamorous life. They're not.
They're really CEOs of their own business,
right?
Whatever. I mean, they very well could at the end of their career of it, but they're choosing to fight for their country.
Yeah. They're real patriots, and I mean, like you said, there's a real decline in.
There is.
Yeah, there is. And it's really sad. And that's one of the things that makes me feel guilty. Like, both of my boys are very aware of many wars. My grandpa, who they were both close with, he was in the Vietnam War, and they're both very interested in that. They're very proud to say that, you know, their grandpa was in the military and he served in the war. And my grandma, that's actually where she met my grandpa, and they are always very excited, you know, like she was a woman back in, you know, the 60s, and she was in the military, and, you know, they're very proud, and they obviously honor them, and they're very respectful of it. And they like, you know, when they see someone with like a Vietnam veteran hat or things like that, you know, they're very excited about it. But them signing up, I never recommend.
I don't know if you know this, but I have a few little old boyfriends.
I know.
I have a few old boyfriends, and they are veterans.
Yeah.
It's funny that I find all of them, or that they find
or they find you.
Yes, but I have a few little veteran old boyfriends, and one of them is actually two of them are Vietnam War vets.
Mm-hmm.
Very different.
They're very different from each other.
They're very different from each other.
Okay.
One is like, oh, you know, that son of a bitch, motherfucker. Blah, 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 blah. And the other one is like, he's gonna open the door for me, and he's gonna watch me, you know, probably watch me walk up the stairs, but also like seriously, like, you know, make sure I'm okay, you know, and like make sure I'm taken care of, and all of those things before I do something.
Right.
The other one is like, oh, hon, oh, come on, tits, you know, let's go.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
But and sometimes I do hide from them. They're a little much, but at the same time, like, I just love their spirit.
Yeah.
You know, I love their spirit, and I love their soul. And I will tell you that I just pray that I pray for a few things. One, I hope it doesn't take a war
right
to get to
That's
that point.
What worries me.
but at the same time, like whatever it does take, I hope that our country can figure out that we are much better united.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 2 is better than 1.
Yeah.
3 is better than 2. And you're never going to be the best by yourself.
Right. Never.
And so you need people, and you need everyone to stand by your side. And I will tell you that there are many, 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 many people that do not want us to be
strong, united,
successful,
absolutely
united.
There are definitely forces out there that are actively trying to divide us, and unfortunately we're allowing it. It's very sad. It's very sad.
I think that we allow the toxicity to make us weak as a culture.
Yes.
And therefore it's weakening our entire
and it's very
country.
Sad, because I think we, like, as the people within our country, I think we're so beautiful.
Yes.
We bring so much to the table. There are a lot of things we have in common, but there's so much that we don't, and so many things that we can teach each other, and so many things that we get to benefit from. Like the different cultures that you get to gain something from.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's not being taken advantage of, because it's all about I'm this, you're that, and we're not okay to be together, and it's wrong.
And here's what I'll say too. We're a country that was built on maybe not the best of circumstances.
Right.
And you can't tell me any land wasn't, taken by someone.
Absolutely.
Right? Someone had to be there. Someone had to take it, whatever it is. But I feel like in where we've come from, and in all that we've been through, and as far as we've been, we should feel more love in our hearts for each other.
Yeah.
And more united and more connected. And I feel like instead we're so divided.
Right. We have all of these things that can bring us together. How many people are you connected with, able to see things about because of social media?
How many countries have a population this big of
so many different people.
Many different cultures. I mean, our cultures are just it's insane.
I know.
It's what makes this country what it is.
Yeah.
It's what makes us go down the street and get amazing food from everywhere in the world.
Right.
That you can think of.
Right. Yeah.
And food is a love language. I mean, it's my love language. Hello. I mean, I want some Indian food. I want some lumpia. I want some Mexican food. Yeah. I'm still not sure about the Swedish food. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't think.
I'll bring you
okay.
Some,
well, you're going to have to really convince me. Okay. Convince me, please. But there's all of these different foods and different cultures and different things that I think could make us so much stronger.
Yes.
And we want to say united, but how united are we really?
Right now, and not at all.
Not at all. And there's no reason to be, because in the end, we all want the same thing, right?
Exactly. And the thing about it is that our differences are what makes our country. We're a melting pot, right?
Yes.
So let's melt. Let's get together.
So my strengths and my weaknesses mixed with your strengths and your weaknesses can be fucking powerful.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I'm not going to be strong in everything you're strong in.
Right.
You're not going to be strong in everything you're strong in. But together, we can be fucking powerful.
Right.
That is what we're supposed to be as a country. you know?
And we're really not tapping in to our strengths. And it's very sad because we are allowing those outside sources to weaken us. And I mean, there are so many great things about it. Yes, we've had a horrible, horrible history. Yes, there are awful things that people before us have done.
Sure.
There are. However,
not everyone's been awesome. Not everyone's been awesome.
But right now, let's make these things right. Let's make us strong. Why are we tearing each other down?
Yeah.
Right? We should be building each other up.
Yeah.
Who cares that you're different from me? We should all be loving one another. We should all be fighting for our country to be the strongest, the best, the everything, right? Like, we are choosing to live here. Okay, unless you're under 18 and your parents are forcing you to be here, you don't have to be here.
Right.
So if you're here, make us better.
Right.
Why are we not improving? Okay, that's very frustrating. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go total opposite subject. All right? Sounds good? Hey guys, we're back.
Hey.
Oh my back.
And we're back. Anyway, I just want to say, although I may not agree with everything is, what's going on, and I don't want to get political, except the only thing I'll say is, not very happy with the way things are going currently.
Right. I think things are very ugly right now.
Things are very ugly.
And I
fuck the fuck up. But
yeah. Here's the thing though. I think that as a society, us regular people.
Okay, I'm gonna be real just 1 second. Because I'm real P. Okay.
Sorry guys, we're gonna go on to something else, but you're gonna have to wait until next time.
Yeah, real quick. I'm gonna be real. I'm just gonna say it. Our president.
I know.
Hold on. I truly believe in my heart of hearts. Before you guys turn me the fuck off, listen.
Just listen and don't
Just
cancel.
listen. Do not cancel me. Listen to me. Listen. It is not about being Republican, Democrat, Green, Independent, whatever you want to call yourself. I truly believe that he's almost a prisoner of.
I know.
I know he is not. He is not
in control.
And he is not capable of making comments, statements, decisions on his own. I don't think that he's well mentally or physically enough to be our president.
Right.
And I feel like it is cruel to him as a person to see him going through this, because I feel like he has got signs of dementia and Alzheimer's and old-timers, as we like to say.
My grandpa used to call it
old-timers. And I feel like it's cruel to him as a person. And I feel like I don't know what the alternative is, because I don't want it to be the alternative. But I feel like it is so hard to digest every single time I see him and he speaks, and I'm going,
I know.
Oh my God. And what I really want to know, and listen, if you're out there and you're a listener of us, and for some reason you're way more liberal than us, but you listen to us, I fucking love you to death. Okay?
Right. We do. We don't care.
Because I don't care. I really don't care. I can care less. But what I would like you to write us in our DMs, what I'd like you to slip us in our DMs
or slide
is, do you feel like he is a capable man?
Yeah.
To make these statements and these decisions.
Right.
Because I feel like those that I had in my life that were more of the liberal side, I have heard nothing.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So, and I try not to say anything, but I'm getting on my soapbox a little here. And I just want to know, if you feel that he is of sound mind and he is making all
of the decisions.
All of the decisions, and
Right.
he makes sense in what he's saying. And we're the crazy people.
Right.
Please message us because I want to hear the other side of it.
Right.
We obviously are a little bit more compatible. You are very conservative.
Yes.
I try to
dabble in.
I dabble
bit.
because I get it. You know, I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't get it with him.
Right.
I don't get it.
I agree.
And I'm trying to find out, does that party or does that lifestyle see what I see? And do they not just fucking care? Do they care? Do they recognize, or do they think that he's just like the best president ever? I don't hear that. So I can't imagine that that's the case.
Right. The crazy thing is so, I mean, as far as approval ratings go, no, his party also does not believe he's the best president ever. I mean, his approval ratings are low. They have increased some, which is very bizarre to me because I think I agree, he is not well. And here's the thing is that I have had people in my family that had dementia. And I mean, to me,
I feel like Dr. Jill should have said,
Dr. Jill
come in a little bit on that.
The thing is, here's
baby,
the problem.
Like, we need to step back, honey.
Yeah. So I forget the term that they use, but there are people out there that say that he has his, I forget the card that they say like he has his something card. It's basically like his protection. Nobody wants the alternative.
This is true. Nobody does want the alternative because
he can be, he can be as awful. He can be as,
hold on, let me make that face again.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that he has this protection because nobody wants that.
I don't even think he knows about the protection.
No, he does not. I do not think he's making the calls. Personally, obviously, I have no inside information. I have no inside knowledge. But based on his behavior and things that he said,
old man.
I know. And that's why, I mean, am I a fan of him? No. But the thing about it is that like having had people in my family who have dementia,
it looks cruel.
Yes, it does. Because the thing is that you don't use people like that to your benefit.
No, you know? and that's where I'm saying, like I get it. Like that's why I want to hear from people because I'm like, maybe I'm super, you know, I know that I'm way more conservative these days, but at the same time, like, do people see?
I think they do. I do. And I am curious too, because I know, you know, we have some liberal friends and I haven't really heard what their thoughts are on it. My assumption is people are seeing what we're seeing and they probably have the same opinion. The only difference I think is that I feel like people on the opposite side just think, well, it's better than what the alternative would have been, right? So people feel it's better with him as president than it would have been with the other option, right? So even though it's not great, and even though there are these things,
and even though
it's
he can't
better
actually make a decision on his own.
And that's what's really sad because, I mean, the thing about it is that it is that they're using him, you know? They are. As much as as things that he's done and things that he said, I'm not a fan of. And would I want to be friends with him? I doubt it. I don't think so. Like as a person.
Just so everyone knows, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all those places are not using us to speak our minds.
Right. This is our opinions. But I do think most everyone sees it. I don't think it's something people are oblivious to. I think it's one of those things that it's like, well, it's the lesser of two evils or the lesser of three evils. But to me, it is very sad because
it is very sad.
In my opinion, it's an abuse.
Yes, absolutely.
They are using a person that's not coherent.
Yes.
You know, someone he doesn't know, and they're using him.
Yes.
And
for their own agenda.
Yeah. And it is sad.
I think so.
It is very sad, in my opinion. But those are my thoughts. But
Our
we
thoughts.
would absolutely love to hear.
Yes,
anyone
please,
who has
please give us your
You could be
opinions.
on the same side as us.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Whatever side.
Please
But if
let
you
us know.
have a different insight, if you have a different opinion, we would love to hear it.
We would.
And not because we're going to be like, oh, that's silly, but because we actually do want to know what others are thinking about it. You know, we're only in our own heads.
Right.
We want, like we said, all of us are what makes us great, right?
Yes.
Like we're not what makes it great. We are all what makes it great. So, yes, please let us know. We would love to hear it.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for swapping.